Good afternoon, Kenya. Karibuni sana. This is the hot seat. Only here on Mbuni News Broadcast. This is a show that we bring forward one of the people discussing matters, politics, and policies in the making. And today we're joined by one of our own, Generali Vincent. He's a law student, but according to me, I can call him a grand mullah in the making. Karibu sana, Generali. Yeah, ulikotoka kwema. How was it before you?
Uh, Fine.
Uh,
We can't complain.
yeah, yeah, tunakupisha hapa. This is Generali. He's inspired by many political leaders, and he's one of the political enthusiasts here in the University of. The other time during the US elections, I saw him one of the what were you Comrades Indomitable Alliance? No.
Yeah, complain.
Yeah, CIA. Yeah, I saw you. You were with Philemon Kibet and others. So just a beginning. You are welcomed in the show, and being a die-hard supporter of the CIA, what is the most important past lesson that you have learned that the comrades in politics are convinced and can be applied directly?
Thank you so much for having me. I've been in politics, but I've been in politics. I started with the then about me. I've supported the presidents. Both of them have been done. But first, I was Colin Skipop, who was then the coalition. That was the first coalition that campus.
Yeah, I've been hearing about.
Then second, later on, we moved to egalitarian. We had two sides here. Egalitarian was spearheaded by a very able guy, Max Kaudo. Then the other side, we had Karanja, spearheading the synergy.
Karanja.
Then Karanja Joseph. I don't know whether you know him.
Yeah, I know him. He was also one of the aspirants.
Yeah, he was a delegate initially, but then later on he went and aspired to be president of the coalition of synergy.
Yeah, last time.
So at that time, I was supporting the candidate from the egalitarian team, which got willing and with the will of the comrades, we won. And the last election, we had three factions. And remember well, we had the CIA. Then we also have the Renaissance, led by
GRA.
Brother Crispin.
Yeah.
And then we also had the other coalition, which was also led by my good friend Sam Beta. Then the same will of the comrades spoke out, and my brother, who is currently serving as the president, he wanted to won. So I've been in this politics, and I've been in campus politics, forefront. The delegate system has been a system that we are used to.
So if I can interrupt, have you ever been a delegate?
Not really. I've participated more of a kingmaker. I can call it such. I've participated more as a kingmaker because we have been forefront center campus politics, especially in the university. But now a transition has come. We want to transcend the politics and the politics outside.
Yeah, so I was just asking, what according to how you have interacted with the comrades, because I know you are a kingmaker, as you've said, the kingmaker. So what have you learned that is making it most importantly the politics in Kenya as at large?
What the great lesson I've learned, being in service to the people and being in touch to the people. As a leader, if you want to go as a leader, you must represent the interest of the constituency. So if in case, for example, in campus here, you really want to upgrade yourself in leadership, you want to move delegate part to the Big Seven, all you need is you must carry the interest of comrades. You must understand what are some of the challenges that what does the comrades need from me as their president, as their secretary general. And if you have that in mind, then it means you're going to deliver what they want.
Yeah.
And then it will have it in a support magnitude from the time. Yeah. So the great lesson as a politician generally, not just even in campus, even outside the politics, outside campus. The main thing you need to know or you need to understand is that you must be at the center of the in everything that you're doing, you must have the people.
Having the people. Yeah, in matters having the people. You look up to this famous politician from South Africa, Justice Malema, and also the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga. According to their history, they've been the people of, they've been having mass number of people na pia wamekuwa in resistance, like they're in opposition. What made you to look up to them as one of your role models?
Well, about me, I've always, I do follow, not really follow, but I subscribe to the ideology, not much of the perception that we create. You know, we always have the PR that most of our politicians tend to rely on. And then, if you tend to look on my mentors, those people I do, maybe I perceive or I do check the ideology, most of how, what do they show? What is it to the consequence? Now, for example, the one you have called, or the one you have spoke about, the two politicians, starting with then the South Africa, the Julia Selo Malema, and the late, soul rest in peace, Mheshimiwa, the His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. They are two people who they have centered their politics. It is people-centered. Yeah. It is a people-centered politics where they advocate the interest. For example, Raila came into the limelight because of the people. I was an activist. He was defending the.
You're just in your fourth year, but you've already been an activist before.
If you term it that way, because you know, in leadership, there are a number of things.
Or maybe we can say there are some of the life experiences that just made you to think, now I can be a politician.
It's a call. Leadership is a call. I think that leadership is a call. If you are called to serve people, you really need to serve people.
Yeah.
And if you are called that, you know, when you get a chance of leadership, you're in a position of service, all you need is to deliver.
Yeah.
You need to change the life of the people. Understand what is it that your constituents are going through, and how best can you turn their life around. It's a turnaround.
Yeah.
So it's up to you as a leader. Policy, like we impact your positive. Yeah. Then, so these two people I was telling you about, for example, the Raila Amolo, before he served as a member of parliament, the main issue that brought him to the limelight was he was a people-centered person. He was championing for this person who, by any chance, wananchi wanaumia kuhusiana nayo, and that's interest. Yeah. The same applies with Jojo. Jojo is a person who is known as a revolutionary leader. Yeah. With the economic freedom fighter, the EF established in South Africa, you'll understand that this person is a people-centered person because he's championing.
Mobilizing them to join you.
To join the revolution. So I'm trying to brand myself. I'm trying to at least follow the political mentors. I want to understand their footsteps. I want to move them the same manner that they're on. Yeah. By ensuring that I follow in their footsteps. I make sure that my politics, I do it as a people-centered politics. Yeah. So that is my main motivation.
Yeah, I love the fact that you subscribe to their qualities and their ideologies. Yeah, and it's keeping you moving. And now, according to how the previous situation, now that, are you a supporter of ODM?
Yeah. I'm a staunch believer of ODM. I'm a live member.
You're a live member of ODM. How did the passing on of Raila Amolo Odinga ilikufanya ukafeel aje?
Honestly, it was on Wednesday, right? If I remember it well, it was a day like that's close to. The passing of Raila Amolo Odinga. Most of us, you know, Raila and ODM is one thing at the time. Yeah. Raila was the ODM and ODM. Yeah. And with his absence in the party, it's a big blow to the party and a big blow to the people, the following. We are the followers of Raila. Yeah. So Raila has been the center of ODM politics, and not just ODM politics. Yeah. He has been known as the professor of politics in the national. He's the enigma, the demigod, as you can call him. Yeah. But then, so with him, you'll realize that in the absence of Raila Amolo, it's very confusing.
Yeah, I've been hearing people calling themselves political orphans.
Yeah, you know, in the region I'm coming from, and not just in Nyanza alone, in the other region as well. If you are known to be subscribing to the politics, or if by any chance you had received the endorsement of Raila Amolo party ticket, the ODM party ticket, it was more of assured you are going to be as the members of parliament, irrespective of the position you're applying for.
Yeah.
So Raila was playing a crucial role in the life of the political career of Moi.
So in simple terms, you can say that the passing on of Baba swayed a lot of you.
Yeah, so no, we haven't swayed. We haven't been swayed. We still believe that there is hope. Or we still believe that there is hope in the party because we still have young who still people do trust the likes of good friend, and I tend to subscribe in his politics as well.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of people that people still see hope in them.
Yeah.
We also have Babu, we maybe future governor of Nairobi. People, the constituents from Embakasi East and the nation that is still hope.
Yeah.
So I'm also relying on the same hope that the party is still intact, despite that we have lost an enigma, we have lost a big party, a big person. But we'll pick up our pieces as a consequence of the party, and then we'll.
And taking in mind, I just heard the other day that people are welcoming the current president, President William Ruto, the party. They just saw is it the Homa Bay governor, Gladys Wanga. He said that he is ready to be the vice president for William Ruto. How can you say about that?
Well, so there is a bit of confusion in the ODM party, because there is two factions that has happened. The first faction is that of Kumibila break, understand?
Yeah.
There are those ODM constituents who tend to believe that Raila Amolo Odinga left us government even past 2027.
Yeah.
But then there is this other faction of the Edwin who is my HG in the party, who tends to subscribe to the politics of Baba left us in government, yes, but until 2027. It was not beyond 2027.
Yeah.
So I tend to understand the two factions. And there was a meeting that was held just on Monday, and the deliberation of the Central Committee was also issued as well. The SG stated clearly that we are in this government up to 2027. And as a member of the party, I tend to subscribe to that. Not I tend, but that is the position of the party.
Yeah.
If the party has stipulated and has stated very clearly and vividly that we are going to this government until 2027, that will be our position.
Yeah.
Now, with Gladys Wanga fronting William Ruto to come into the ODM swing, politically, as a political animal, so I don't have that expertise to advise him. I'm just a junior coming in. I'm just coming in. But I don't think if that will be a reasonable move, or I don't think if that will be a smart move. If William Ruto will abandon the wagon and come and join them, because of these two fronts. Number one, in the way our political reign has been structured all along, we have a faction. We have the president has a faction, and UDA is just not Mr. William. You might incorporate His Excellency William Ruto ODM Akuja as a party, as a candidate in that ODM party ticket, with an ODM party ticket. But then we have the following. We have people who follows UDA. We have people who subscribe to the UDA politics. Will those people as well shift their loyalty?
I can't think so.
They won't do that. So it won't be. So my advice will then be for William Ruto, His Excellency the President, just subscribe to his party, ensure that they solidify their party, the ODM as well to solidify their grassroots base and the entire structure of the party, so that at least when it comes to 2027, if they feel like there is a coalition, they can come in agreement, the two of them, and then they can decide on either to work together as that in different parties.
Yeah.
But with the second question was about Tupanga being the vice.
Yeah, the
vice president.
Yeah, come 2027 Generali.
Anything can happen in politics. That is one thing
I remember Baba when he was still alive. He was saying that maybe according to the politics, there is no permanent political enemy. And he was saying, even if I think he was defending his handshakes for the sake of the unity of the people. So, as you are saying, I think it is valid. Yeah, it is valid. And now that you said during the start of the time, you said that you're not just eyeing for campus politics, you're also keeping an eye on the Kasipul seat come 2027 as a member of parliament.
Yeah.
According to how people think, because I know you don't think the same way, according to how people think, it's like young people believe in that you win that seat.
I think a very interesting question you have asked about Kasipul. Well, let me first say that my life in campus is almost done. My campus life, my political campus life is done. I've done my part. I've played. I've learned a lot, and I just want to implement what I've learned to the number of things I've seen from other candidates, maybe just to perfect what I've seen. But then coming to Kasipul, one should know that right now we have a by-election happening. So the Charles Montore who passed on result of the anarchies that happened. But then we all along our politics has been that of bribery. But then we need to shift. This bribery thing must just one day. Maybe
it's where the young people have been coming together. I think they might also unite in the same way. Like the other day, they were in Jukiri showground. They were helping that mama gift. I think can it be the same way the youth can unite so that to eliminate the issue of political bribery into a case that they are reforming the politics in Kenya?
Because number one, the politics that we are trying to do, it's a transitional moment. We have been having the old guys all along, having the old guys in the political space, but then now the young are slowly leading with them. We have always been told that youths are the leaders of tomorrow. But now, for now, we are making it very clear to everyone that the youths are the leaders of today. Then the question will then be, do we have finance to subscribe, or do we have finance to sustain the politics within our constituents and politics within our county? The idea is fine if you can sell your agenda to the people. The only thing you need is to tell the people what you have for them. Advise them, tell them that this is, I'm Vincent, I'm Generali. This is my plan for you as the people of Kasipul. I'm planning to do this and this, so that at least if the people will subscribe with your ideology, then it will be very easy for them even to support you if you don't bribe them. I don't believe in the politics of bribe, by the way. I always believe that politics, all you need is to sell your agenda to the people, make people understand what you're bringing for them.
So right now, if given a chance right now, you go in tell them your agenda. Do you believe that you can support it?
I must believe so, and if I don't believe in myself, then no one will believe in me.
I like that.
Yeah, because you must believe in yourself first, because the moment you know you have that urge and you have that will and you have the people at heart, you have their desire, there is definitely nothing that you can't do.
Yeah.
So with God's grace, when that time reach, come 2027, and with God's grace and the will of the people from the Great Kasipul constituency, we'll be asking them. There must be a starting point in this political journey. There must be.
Yeah, and I just realized that Kasipul is also one of the audience strongholds.
Yeah, it's one. It's one of the ODM, but I'm a member of ODM as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
so I might be privileged when it comes to 2027 to be a flag bearer of ODM. But
yeah, and taking in mind that the party leader and the party mentor is now the late.
Yeah.
So how and historically maybe sometimes ODM nominations are contentious. How will you make sure that the nominations in Kasipul, even in this nominee, what do we call it?
The by-election.
The by-elections. Even in these by-elections, how will it be free and fair? Like for example, you as a young politician eyeing for that seat, and I know you are following on it keenly to see how it is. I would like to know, how are you ready to run as maybe you are denied a ticket, because sometimes you can be more than one vying for the same.
Well, so we always have the party. We have the party ticket, so that it is more of a machinery when it comes to election. But then there is always this famous quote which says, "The voice of the people is the voice of God." Now, for me, I tend to believe that yes, I'll engage myself in the primary party politics, so that at least I get the endorsement of the party from the people by ensuring that I engage myself in the party politics, and God willing, if I manage to get that party ticket, you move to the next election. But then the question will be, if maybe in the scenario, which I don't imagine it to happen, but in the event it happened that the election are not free and fair as you're bringing it out, the voice of the people is always the voice of the people is the voice of God. So if the people still believe in ideology, if the people understand that this is the plan that Generali has for them, this is what Generali is taking them to, then if they believe that in you and they see that in you and you try to portray or assassinate that, then it means, irrespective of whether you get the party ticket, all you need as a politician, I've told you, even as a leader, is that you need to be at the center of the people. In everything that you're doing in your campaign, the way you're planning yourself, every engagement that you are having, let it have the people with you. So if you have the blessings of the people, if I have the blessings of the great Kasipul people, then I tend to believe that that is all I need at first. I need to have the people. I might have the party ticket, but without the people, there is no way I'm going to win that election if I have a formidable candidate who is opposing my candidature. So
now, just beyond winning, what is one that what's that one policy that you think has been affecting the youth? And because you are a youth, maybe you have seen that these youths are facing these challenges and these. What is that one policy that you think you're going to pass as one of the members of parliament in Kasipul?
Thank you. You make it appear like I'm already a member of parliament.
No, it's
but
like,
anyway, it's okay. I understand.
You're eyeing for the seat.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it can be an added point for you. Yeah, if you start, it's like you're selling your agenda. Yeah.
I understand that there is a number of things that we need to do to our people if by any chance we get a chance to serve them. But then the question will be, depends with the constituents that you are serving. You know, for example, if you are a member of parliament from Western and you are a member of parliament from Nyanza, there are different techniques that you need to deploy. Maybe if you are a member of parliament from a rural area and a member of parliament from an urban area, the challenges that your constituents are going are two different things. So you need to understand what is the issue that is ailing your constituent. What is the thing that your constituents really need them as your leader, as their leader, you need to address to them. But then narrowing it down to Kasipul, now because that is where I want to start my political journey from, we have a number of issues that we are going through as the constituents. But then if bringing it down to what you have referred as the youths, the greatest problem that most of our youths have is the unemployment is still it is. Unemployment has been I'm also unemployed for now. But I haven't come out. So the big issue that we are going through as the youth at large is unemployment. If we can fix this problem of unemployment, that will be a very big victory as a country. So all you need is pragmatic leaders who are very visionary, leaders who can understand what is it that we can do, what is it that we can bring on board. Like for example, a practical example that I can bring to you, Kasipul has some raw materials. It's a place that we call it Mumbo. The reason as to why we call it Mumbo is because the kind of terrain that we have, the landscape that we have we can produce. Generally, production can be a very good field of venture in that area. So all you need is how can we establish even, for example, an industry. We can industrialize the constituency. So that at least we can have our youths from respective part of the constituency who are working there, so that at least they earn a living. And then as well, at the moment we provide an industry within the same location, we are providing a ready market for the raw materials that are around immediately there. And then in the same place, we also have our mothers who are there. And then our mothers as well can get a job in the same industry. So that is one of the avenues that we can do. Another thing that currently you can understand that we are moving in a digital space. So as a member of parliament or as a young person who maybe yearns to be in leadership in future, all I tend to believe that we need is to at least exploit the digital space as well. We need to teach our young people, we need to create the awareness to them that there is this space that is happening, this space that is coming up front, and let them take opportunities from the digital space. That is just a few amongst the very many that we are going to do to the great people of Kasipul.
Yeah, if could you please speak about this thing, education funding? Like for now, there is this. There are some students who have not been funded up to now. They have not received their upkeeps. You're one of the people who will be also in parliament, and you can enforce some of and implement some of the rules and the policies that will be at least inasaidia kupunguza ile process to be followed. so that the money can be released.
Mm.
Yeah, how have you been affected?
Yeah, of course, definitely. I'm also a victim of the same. And when it comes to education, we can't fumble with education. We can't fumble with education, because they always say, there is always this common quote that they say, it is only education that can make a son of a peasant farmer dine with a king. The reason as to why that quote was brought out is because the moment you educate yourself, you expose yourself to the world, and then you get that experience through knowledge, the experience and knowledge rather, you can connect with anyone, irrespective of who the caliber of that person is, or the person falls in whatever caliber.
Yeah.
So we can't fumble with education. There is a model that has been introduced. I'm still a victim of the same, though I'm right. I'm not in the new funding model.
Yeah.
But I've known a number of friends, some people even just as recent as 2 weeks ago. Some were calling me, some were telling me, but generally what is not happening, our portal kuna venye inachezwa na.
Yeah.
Tulikuwa na fee ilikuwa maybe 30,000 and then imepita. And for me, sometimes I get agitated with such a stuff, because I tend to feel like we have held the town hall meetings with the president, the student leaders have met with him. So what is the alternative? Now, this is my suggestion. Education, there is what the CJ, then Martha Koome stated clearly. If education can just be made free, and this was his logic. She was saying that if by any chance this bursary that we are giving out, we are dishing out maybe 10,000, 5,000, maybe we always have two category of bursary. We always have the CDF one, and then there is this county government as well.
Yeah.
So if all this bursary can be incorporated together, and then you as a student, you just know that the government has paid it full for you. Easy maneno za bursary, maybe unaweza kupewa, and then not everyone gets that bursary.
Yeah, and I just saw that even the governor, the senator, the women rep, the member of parliament, they are given the same task.
Yeah, so you find that there is a bursary that is being issued by the member of parliament. The same, there is also a bursary that is being issued by the women rep, and there is a bursary as well that is being issued by the county governor. My question would then be, if we want to issue this bursary, is it not possible for us to incorporate all this bursary that we are giving out, so that at least we have a system where you as a student, you know that if you look at a bursary at hand, which not everyone is getting.
Yeah.
There is a lot of biasness when it comes to the picking, depending on the constituency. Yeah. Let's incorporate all these funds in a common pool, so that at least it is a equal channel in the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, so that hadi tujue wapi ndio penye kuna shortage.
Yeah, you just know what is the shortage that is needed, but then we will move to the free education.
Okay, now looking at Kasipul constituency, now that you're eyeing for that seat, how would you promise people? Some of the politicians come zealously looking for the position, but after they've been given the position, they will end up going in, what do we call it? The nyumba za kifahari, kule mjini, and they forget their people. How would you promise the people of Kasipul that if given a chance, because it's only 1 year to elections, yeah. So how would you promise? Because
10 months.
Yeah.
Well, I get the sense. I get the sense that we have always had politicians who always ride out of promises.
Yeah.
They tend to promise a lot as opposed to what they are going to do to the people.
Yeah.
I don't know how we can ail this problem, but this is my suggestion. You can know who is a leader and who is not a leader.
Yeah.
So is in the face value. You can always know who is after the political interest of himself and who carries the interest of the people. It is always in the outplay. So it is up to the constituents. If by any chance the constituents can interrogate the life of a person, interrogate the conscience of this person, interrogate the motive of this politician, the motive of this leader, it is as a result of that they are going to conclude that this is our leader, this is a person who can maybe deliver to the people, and this is a person who are just here with him. A funny story has happened. We have most of our politicians who are, for example, right now, the way to go by election at Kasipul, you will realize that most of our politicians will camp in the villages. Most of them will come, they will campaign, they will do even the odds. That is the time that you will see a politician anabeba mtoto, anacheza na mtoto,
assisting people.
And then they will go in the very bare minimum, so that at least they get a vote.
Yeah.
But then the question will be, once that person has received the vote, once that person has been elected in office, what is this behavior?
Yeah.
What is this behavior once ameshapata the seat? So that has been a challenge, which most of our politicians even currently they always tend to lay low when they need votes, that once they have received those votes, once they are being elected with those offices, now time sasa wanaanza they flaunt and they showcase what they have, their prowess.
Yeah, wanaleweshwa kichwa.
Yes, the power gets into their head. And I remember the quote the former president stated clearly that if you want to know the true color of a man, the true character of a person, give him power. And then see how he acts with power. So for me, I'll explain my plan to the people. I'll really go to the people door to door, village to village, ward to ward, and in the entire constituency, I'll explain my plan to them. I'll tell them, this is what I have for you, this is what I have for you in agriculture, this is my plan for you in education. I mean, they have brought us in campus. So we have enlightened ourselves, we have exposed ourselves, we have seen how these things can be done, and we have learned a lot. So it is time now to bring it back to the society. It is time to deliver back to the people and explain to them that this is what we have for you. So if they trust in me, if they believe in me, and they see a leader in me, now it's up to me to make sure that I don't fail for them. Because, I mean, our journey won't just end in the member of parliament in Kasipur. We want to ensure that we expand ourselves so that at least the good thing that we are going to do to the great people of Kasipur, we also expand it in the greater county of Homa Bay. And God willing, who knows, maybe the future will.
There is a question here that is asking, he's telling me that let's talk about the political handshakes. Do you, as a young, bold, aspiring leader, believe in a conditional opposition until the next election? Or is there a place for cooperation for development with the incumbent government?
Well, let me try to be practical in that question by answering in this manner. Our political handshakes, mostly, it is not. They always say you can compromise on tactic, but you can't compromise in principles. Like for example, if we move to the life of the late Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga, who was my party leader, and we have an acting. So, purportedly, we can just say we still have him as one of our person who we hold special and dear in our heart.
The spirit is still living.
The spirit of the enemy is still living. Now, so if you tend to interrogate most about the political handshake and how he has lived in this political life, as even as this, the one that he happened to have an handshake with the current president, it was not a compromise on principle. It was a compromise on tactic. He did that for the sake of the country. He explained himself. He told us that the moment we saw the military that were on the street, that was a it was a turnaround for the country.
And there is a quote that he said he loves Kenya more than he loves Raila Odinga.
More than he loves Raila Odinga. So he gave his life to serve the country, and you can't misjudge that as a bad political move or a handshake that is being brought with a hidden motive. So the political handshake, it depends with the situation at hand. But I tend to believe that I don't subscribe much in having handshake, but I subscribe much in working together. We can find an arrangement. For example, even right now, the moment you are vying for a seat, even the same way you can ideas, the same way your opponent also have ideas. But then the question will be who has more ideas as opposed to the other. Doesn't mean that once you are now elected as a leader, now you compromise the ideas of your opponent. That is not how you work as a leader. All you need is that the ideas that your opponent had that you feel like are good for your constituency, you try to incorporate them with your ideas so that at least you move the constituency together.
And Raila Odinga was famously a democracy fighter. He fought for democracy in Kenya. And as a political critic, are you a political critic? Because I see you as a political critic. So I was asking you, where do you see the current democracy being suppressed? Because there was a law that was passed the other time. And there are some people who didn't even understand what the president said. So how do you see the state of democracy in Kenya?
The state of the nation, the state of the democracy. Well, I must say that, give it to him. Raila really did a great job for the country. He fought for us in a number of fronts. He fought for us to have the multi-party. He also fought for us. He was one of the stakeholders when we were having the new constitution, the inauguration of the new constitution or the parturition of the new constitution of Kenya. He was one of those people. And then now, what is the current state for now? I must say that there is an attempt from the government to suppress that, because in one of the things that we enjoy as the people is the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech. Yes, I know they need to be limited to some extent because unaweza kuwa na some freedom to an extent that now you are misusing the freedom that you have.
Yeah.
But then the question will be, what is the motive behind it? If it is being limited with a good intent, with a good motive, then I don't feel like it's a bad stuff.
Yeah.
But sasa, if it is being done so because maybe you are a critic of the government, that is not the case. Yeah. Because the government should, the government is always for the people, and it is the people who needs to interrogate what is the government really serving them? Is the government delivering to them? Yeah. And if by asking his critic, then I tend to believe that the government is getting it wrong. As a people, if you know that your government is not working for you, it is up to you to ask the government. It's up to you to ask the current person. Maybe it's a governor, it's the county government, it is the national government. You need to ask them. This and this needs to be done. You haven't done it.
But in the situation where maybe we are asking, you know, platform the youths currently, it's online, it is social media. But in the process of unajaribu kuuliza through the social media platforms, they are hacking you, wanakupata, then in 2 days you are dead.
So that's a big problem that the government is doing. If really someone is criticizing the government in a positive way, I don't feel like that person should not even live alone being killed or being maimed. Yeah. I say no. That person should not even be arrested. Yeah. If you are criticizing the government in a positive way. For example, now we have now spoke about the funding model. Yeah. This funding model, not everyone must subscribe to it. Yeah. So for example, if I don't feel like this funding model is something good for me, it's something good for my constituent, it's something good for somebody I know, then I must come out in a very vehemently way to defend and say that this funding model can be done in a different way. Yeah. Not just to take it away, but we can reshape it in a different manner. Yeah. That is a positive criticism. Understand? Yeah. So if that can be done and then someone is being arrested by doing that is not something good that the government is doing, but they're just suppressing the freedom of someone to express himself. So for me, about more so the social media, if it is being done in a positive way, if you are criticizing the government in a positive manner, I tend to believe that is the way to go, because you can't be perfect. Yeah, understand?
But it has never been bad. But according to the way the government is handling it, it makes the people who are doing that pia wanakuwa na hasira, so it makes them kukua at least au pia wanajaribu kucope na ile hasira ya government.
You know, one thing that people really need to understand, this country belongs to all of us, understand? Yeah. If by any chance this country grows, all of us grow. If there is any prospect that you are going to get out of the government of the day, then all of us also will enjoy the prospect. But if it burns, all of us burn. Yeah. As if we always say that we will burn here. Kama tutachomeka hapa. So it's our collective responsibility, both as the leaders, both as the constituents, the citizens of the entire country. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that we bring our effort together in building the nation. Yeah. So that should be our main aim. All we need is to incorporate all our efforts in every single day in ensuring that we make our country the better place. The Singapore that they always say, the Malaysia that they always say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and you are a student. You are also a political aspirant. That great sacrifice, that lack of sleep that you've been having, maybe just make your political dream come true?
Well, for now, I tend to believe that most of the people still don't believe that I'm going to lie. Yeah. It has been, I always tell my friends, apart from my very close confidants who really understand that I'm going to be the bad. In fact, even right now in this by-election, if by any chance I could have been around, I was to be there. Because the realness why is not just being there. We really want to, we have seen it. We have seen what people can do when they get a position of interest. We can see how we can transform the lives of our people. Yeah. So the greatest problem that I've been encountering, people who tell me that bana Generali, sasa huna pesa bwana. Pesa utatoa wapi ya kusumbuana na wale tunawaita kigogo ama vigogo.
And that is the question that I had asked you earlier.
So the finance stuff, people ask you, do you have the logistics to sustain your campaign? Some do ask with your age, when you come mchanga, will you understand the cartels who are there, the political cartels? Yeah. But then I always ask them, what is the alternative? Yeah. What is the alternative? Should we just wait and sit? Will they still subscribe with this narrative? The youths are the leaders of tomorrow? No. Something must be done. And if something has to be done that in a way you need to challenge the status quo, we will do it.
Yeah, they always say huwezi ona kile unachokijua mpaka ujaribu.
You will never actualize what you have not visualized.
Yeah.
So that has been my greatest challenge, to tell people, you need to understand. But I always understand them.
Umefanya some of the public participation.
The public with the people.
Yeah.
But I do engage. The only thing is that I don't get much of my time with the constituents because of my education stuff.
Distance.
Yeah, the distance and all. But I know the moment I'll be free from the campus life kidogo, that will be my first role. I'll be engaging with them. But back at home, hata tukirudingi the holidays and stuff, we engage with the people. We understand what is their issues.
Yeah.
We try to get what is their real problem that they are going through. And then so that at least even if you are coming in as a leader, you try to implement what you know that is going to serve them well.
Yeah.
So that has been.
And maybe speaking about just your final message to the youth of Kasipul and all Kenyans, maybe about the daring to enter politics and how will they stop the politics of emotion and start the politics of policy, as you have been saying.
Well, so my message to my fellow youths, it's our time. It's our turn. The moment is here. The moment of reckoning is here. We have always wanted to change the country. We have always wanted to bring impact to the country. Remember the uprising of the Gen Z then. At that time, I was in my attachment when I was in Thika locals then, and then there was this uprising of the Gen Z. You were really agitating. This finance bill must be brought down.
Yeah.
Tukasema now hata hii maandamano ya Thika, because I remember prior to 25th there was a demonstration prior to that before we call it mega before the mega one. So on that 17th I was in Thika. We joined our colleagues in maybe agitating our rights and telling them that the finance bill stuff is not working for us. But then we realized that there is a mega one that we need to join. That there is a serious one. We need to air our voice in a more pragmatic way. We get to leave to Nairobi on 25th so that we join our fellow comrades, our fellow we call them fighters. So at least we can agitate in our rights. So we have always agitated in the streets. Now it's time to make real change. 2027 is our year of reckoning. It's our year of reckoning. It's our year. We can't afford to miss 2027. If we miss 2027, then it means we have to wait to 2032. So my advice to them is, one, let's occupy. We have been occupying parliament. Occupying parliament, street, let's occupy state house. Now my question is, if you know that you really want to bring change to the people, you want to impact the life of your constituents, now occupy those elective seats. That is now the goal. Let's occupy those elective seats. If you feel like you can bring change at the MCA level, do that. If you think that you can bring change in a community-based organization, go for that. If you feel like you can do it at a member of parliament level, just go for that. Let's occupy, let's dare. Let's see where is the work that is going to happen when we venture into these political seats. And then generally, my advice to them, let's not tire. Let's not tire. The canon that Baba has always said is here with us. The canon is just 15 months from now, and we will make a difference in the country.
And that has been Generali, one of the law students here in the University of Embu. You can see he is in Embu, but he's inspiring for Kasipul, which is in Homa Bay. It has been a nice conversation. Thank you, Generali, for joining us. And I have been Tony Nandasaba. The voice of the youth is not just loud on social media, but is taking its place on the ballot. 2027, he has said that he will be on the ballot. And he has just said, go occupy those political and seats, as you have said. And that has been the Hot Seat, a show that will always be coming to you every Wednesday with me as the host, Tony Nandasaba. Keep enjoying inspirational and educational series of our shows. Coming up next is Wednesday Wellness. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Mbuni News Broadcast. Up to the next time, bye-bye.